Okay, so now we're working on our Chapter 5 test. This is the sample test. It's going to be very, very similar to the real test. So I want you to study this carefully. As with the quiz, I want you to take the test on a separate piece of paper like you've never, for the first time all by yourself. Okay, once you get done, grade it, find the ones you've missed, watch the video to see how to do those, and try again. And you repeat this process until you can get 100% on the test. Then you'll understand how to do all the problems. Okay, so let's look at our first problem. All right, multiply or divide the following. Well, this is multiply. Remember, multiply, we just do straight across. So we want 1 times 1 and 4 times 5. Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 5 is 20, and we're done. Okay, 3 times 4, 5 times 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 9 is 45, but they both have 3's in them. So we have to reduce this to 4 over 15. Now, we could have done this ahead of time by noticing I had a 3 here, and the 9 is 3 times 3, so we could have gotten rid of one of those. Then we would have seen the 4 over 15 right away. Your choice how you do it. All right, on the next one. This is a divided by. Okay? Which means what? Do you remember? How do we do divided by? We flip and multiply. So we have 4 over 5 times 10 over 1. Now notice 10 is 2 times 5. So I can cross out the 5, leaving me with a 2 there. So now I have straight up 4 times 2 over 1, which is 4 times 2, or 8. All right, now we're going to add and subtract these. So our first step, common denominator. If we have a common denominator, all we have to do is add our numerators. So that's what we're going to do. 3 plus 1 is 4, so our answer is 4/5. Oops, I forgot to box that one. There we go. All right. Now, these are different denominators, so I have to do a common denominator. They both have a 2, though. All right, so what I really have is 8 times 3, or 24. 24 is my lowest common denominator. So, 3, I'm going to change these up. So the 2 times 4 needs a 3, right? Because my denominator is 2 times 4 times 3. So I need a 3 for the 3/8. So 3 times 3 is 9. Plus, now the 1/6 is a 2 times 3, so it needs a 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. And there we go. 9 plus 4 is 13 over 24. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. There we go. All right. Now we have 7/9 minus 1/3. Well, we're going to do a common denominator again, but that's pretty simple because all I need is 3's over here. That's supposed to be a 3, believe it or not. So now what I have is 7 minus 1 times 3, which is 3, over the 9. If you don't see that, what I've got here is 7 over 9 minus 3 over 9. So now it's 7 minus 3 over 9. So my answer, I can't really write on top of my face over here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that for just a second. I'll bring it back in a minute. All right, so that means I have 7 minus 3 is 4/9, and that would be my final answer. All right, now on the next slide, I'll bring back this. Hi, I'm back. Okay, you know what? I just realized it's really dark. Let me get up for a second and give myself face some light. So it's not quite so dark for you. Hi, is that better? Hi. Okay, add or subtract the following. I have a -3 plus a -5. I keep looking down there. I should look up here at you. Hi. -3 plus a -5 is a -8. So that would be my answer. You just add them together and make them negative. -6 plus 3, as long as I don't have a subtraction, I can commute these. So this is the same thing as saying 3 minus 6. Well, I should be able to see right away that that's -3. If you want to do it on a number line, you go +3, 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to go negative, the opposite direction, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd be sitting down there at -3. -3 minus 3. This one always confuses me. So I like to do a plus a negative. Change the symbol, change the sign. All right, so if I have a -3 plus a -3, that I get. That is -6. All right, write each ratio in lowest terms. All right, we did that on our quiz, if you recall. But they both have 8s, so it's a 3/1, which is 3. So write it as a fraction, we would leave it as 3/1. Okay. Notice it said to write your answer as a fraction, so we have to obey that. So 3/1. All right, we have 2/3 over 5/6. Flip and multiply, 6/5. Got rid of that. All right, now 2 times 6 is, ooh, wait a minute. I like to make this a little easier by changing the 6, which was a 2 times 3, into a 2. Now I have 2 times 2 is 4/5. Pretty easy. All right, a little more difficult with the decimals. Now, if I'm going to convert these, I take this over two decimal places, and it becomes 25, and this one over 2, so it becomes 50. Hopefully you see right away that that's 1/2, because 25 is half of 50. Okay. Moving along. A train travels 360 miles in 5 hours. What is the rate of the train in miles per hour? So we want miles per hour. So that's how we're going to write it. Miles was 360. Hours was 5. Okay, so now I'm going to take 360 and divide it by 5. Well, if I divide, okay, I have a weird way of thinking of this. If it was a 10, it would be 36, so I have to double it because it's a 5. I'm dividing it by less than 10, so I have to make it bigger. So it's going to be 72 miles per hour. You will be allowed a calculator, so you can just put it in your calculator if you want to. All right, a 4-pound bag of cat food costs $8.12. Give the unit price. Okay, in dollars per pound, so dollars per pound. So we have a 4-pound bag of dog food that costs $8.12. All right, so we just do the division. 8 divided by 4 is 2, 12 divided by 4 is 3. There we go, dollars per pound. Okay, whoops, I'm not boxing my answers. See, if you guys were here, you'd have me on my toes and tell me to box my answers. All right, find the unit price of each brand of olive oil. Which brand is a better deal? All right, so for Californian Olive Ranch Fresh Extra Virgin Oil, unit price. So it's price per, in this case, milliliter. So what we're looking for is dollars over milliliters. So this one has 9/50, and this one has 15/100. All right, common denominator will help you see. But it's asking for a unit price, so that's what we have to do. We have to actually do the division. All right, so 9 I'm trying to think this through. I always have struggled with this, so yes, so it's going to be 9 in here and 50 out here. Sorry, my leg started to itch. Okay, now, so 50 doesn't go into 9, but it goes into 90. So I have 1, nope, sorry, the 1 goes there. Does not go in the first place because it's not the 9. Goes directly above the 0. Okay. All right. So that gives me 50. I subtract, and I have 40. Bring down another 0, 400. 50 goes into 400 8 times. So, and now I have 0, so I'm done. So the unit price for this is $0.18 per milliliter. All right, on the second one here, at $15 for 100 milliliters, if I divide that up, okay, easiest way to do this because it's 100. I take off a 0, I move my decimal place. I take off another 0, I move my decimal place. So the answer on this one is 15 cents. So I have $0.15 per milliliter. That's the answer for that one. That's the answer for that one. And it wants to know which brand is a better deal. Let's see. At 15 milliliters, the Partana is the better deal. So we say that. Partana is the best deal. All right. Number 8. 2 times n equals 8. So if we divide both sides by the constant on the variable, I'm going to end up with n equals 4. Here I divide both sides by 7 because that's the constant on the variable, the coefficient. 56 divided by 7 is 8. So 8 is x. All right, I divide both sides by 16 and I get 4. So x is 4. All right. Whoops, box the answers. Box our answers. We don't want any points. All right, show that the following is proportional or not. Okay, show that the following is proportional. Remember, we had to do our extremes times our mids. No, our extremes multiplied has to equal our mids. So 5 times 16 has to equal 8 times 10. Well, 8 times 10 is 80. That's easy. You can pop it in your calculator. But it ends up that 5 times 18 is indeed 80 also. So the answer is yes. They are proportional. And yes, I do expect you to write out the answer like this. I promise you, if you ever have a boss asking you to do something, he is not going to accept the answer 80 equals 80. The question is, are they proportional? The answer is yes, they are proportional. That's what a boss is going to want. So you better get used to it. Okay, find the missing term in each of the following proportions. All right, so we can use this same principle, and it tells us that 3x has to equal 9 times 8 is 72. So I divide by 3, and x is 24. Over here, I have 10x equals 35. So that means that x is equal to 3.5. Okay, now we box our answer. Okay. Moving on, number 11, find the missing term in the following proportion. Again, we're going to do what we were just doing. But now we have decimals, right? So what I'm first going to do, I think I'm going to rewrite this and get rid of those decimals. Now in each of these, I only have one decimal place, so I can simply move them over. So 4 over 12 is equal to 1 over x. Now I'm going to do my cross multiply or cross product. I have 4x equals 12. I divide by 4, x equals 3. Doesn't need to be a decimal. Yeah, it wouldn't have turned out a decimal either way, so you're fine with that. All right, if a 10 ounce of certain breakfast cereal, if 10 ounces of a certain breakfast cereal contain 3 ounces of sugar, how many ounces of sugar does a 25 ounce, okay, so the ounces of sugar is our x, so we put those on top, 3 ounces of sugar to 10 ounces of breakfast cereal is equal to how many ounces of sugar for 25 ounces of cereal? Cross multiply or cross product, we get 75 equals 10x. And remember, this cross product thing only works if there's an equal sign between them. All right, now I divide by 10, which is super simple to do. And there we go. Oh, we do want to put ounces on here because it is ounces. All right. Of every 17 parts manufactured by a certain machine, only one will be defective. How many parts were manufactured by the machine? So the parts go on top, 17 over 1 defective is equal to x over 8 defective. So we end up with x equals 8 times 17, which is 80 plus, 56, sorry. 80 plus 56 is 136. And it's parts. All right, remember similar triangles. We just did that. For similar triangles, set up a proportion to find the length of AE. All right, let's see what we've got here. What we're looking for is the length of AE, which is going to be proportional to CE. Okay, so the length of AE is to the length of CE, which is 12, as 15, the larger triangle goes on top, is to 10. All right, so now we do our proportion. We're going to turn that AE into x. So now we have 10x equals 15 times 12. That's 120, and 60 is 180. Okay, divide by 10. X is equal to 18. So our answer is AE is 10. There are no units, so we don't need to specify them. Okay, and our last one, below gives the length of a shadow of a 6-foot tall person, right, is 2 feet. And what they're saying is these are similar triangles. They're not to scale, so they don't look like it. All right, we want to know how tall the Eiffel Tower is. So at 328 feet, okay, so what we have to do is we're looking for x, and that's a height, so that's the 6 is the height. And the shadow length of X was 328. The shadow length of the person was 2. All righty. Okay, so now we do our cross product. 2x equals 6 times 328. I get 1968. Was a very good year. And divide that by 2, because we divide both sides by 2. And we get X is 984 feet. And there we go. Okay, that's it. We're done. Hopefully you have already done this once. Now go do it again. Being careful on the ones you missed last time, but don't neglect the ones you didn't miss, because you could miss them this time. And keep going until you get 100%. And then you get 100% on the test.